My name is Kelly, and today I'll be sharing with you about our nonprofit agency, Montana Women Vote, and the best practices that we use within the field. A quick cap on who we are. We are a nonpartisan grassroots organization with the goal to mobilize and educate low-income women and their allies to participate in the democratic process. The most common problem we see is a lack of support and attention by elected officials for low-income women concerns. With low-income folks having only a 30 to 40% voter turnout rate, this signifies that low-income folks have little to no say on these electing officials. In retrospect, there's also little accountability held by these elected officials to support issues that directly affect this population. Ultimately, we define social justice and social change through our community efforts and policy change efforts. We utilize the NASW Code of Ethics in promoting social justice and social change with and on behalf of individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. Our organization is a macro level field of practice. We engage with the community through various forms of community organizing events, as well as exerting our support on policies and bills that help to empower and support this overlooked population. Our organization works to achieve useful planning and policy advocating, which is demonstrated through our support within coalitions that address policies on the state legislative level. We also approach the local capacity development through voter registration, and we also approach social advocacy through our story collection. Montana Women Vote loosely uses the evidence-based practice of motivational interviewing, which is a practice used to approach behavior change, and this practice is typically seen within the field of addictions. Because motivational interview is grounded in a respectful stance with the emphasis on building rapport, this practice helps us to engage with local community members about their voter registration status. Many low-income folks fall into the belief that their voice doesn't matter, or nothing that they can say or do will make a difference in the world of politics. With these individuals, we have the most opportunity to utilize motivational interviewing and ultimately finding resolution to the defeated or negative thought pattern in regards to voting and their voice. Because we live in Montana, we are a state that really emphasizes the ability to vote, and this is seen through everything from local government to the state government. So Change Talk is very effective in our approach, in an approach that we use within our agency. We can ask a question like, what would you like to see change about your situation? Or if we're discussing healthcare, we could ask people, if people continue to be in support of healthcare reform, how could this affect you? We also utilize decisional balancing when trying to discuss with a client on their importance of voting. We ask them, okay, if you don't vote, what would happen? Then we listen to the response. This is when active listening really comes into play. And then we approach them on the flip side. Well, now that you know how your vote really can promote change in politics and policies within Montana, if you sign up to vote today, what would happen? We always try to use affirmations whether or not a person chooses to vote or share their story. We believe motivational interview is the best technique for us in our field of work. There is still a lot of research being done on community organizing and macro level based social work. Because we need evidence-based practices, there are a lot of things out there that have been pushed for macro level evidence-based practice, but ultimately we find that motivational interviewing is a technique that we use again and again, and it's really useful. Because we often approach people that are at low points in their life, and we also deal with the population that has been underrepresented for years upon years upon years. So through this technique and through our agency, we really approach this clientele group and we try to get to know them a little bit. And through this, we actually successfully register people to vote. And we also successfully collect these people's stories. And with these stories, we make a book and we show it to legislators when these people specifically are lobbying for issues. Ultimately, I think this is the best evidence-based practice for our work. Thank you, and I hope you all have a great day.